No one knew who lit the fire, but we saw the plume of smoke from far away. The winter slough had driven our tribe north, where on the first mother, our tribe mother, Old Svana, shivered through the first night. Our elk herds died on the second, and at least on the third we had food. But even that feast was now a memory as we climbed the mountain with no peak. The legless creed called it the half mountain of Old Orn. Our shaman had lost his mind, but Old Svana bade us to carry the fool. The rest of us believe we were marching toward deaths as we carry on. The slopes of the half mountain were a tortured landscape of black stone and charcoal basalt. Dark clouds to the east flash, lightning and winds carried the stench of wet fur and sweet decay. Our scouts did not return. We all knew that what this meant, but no one dared to say the word or sign aloud. We climbed until we stood at the edge of the vast crater. Then Creek saw the fire. This was odd, because Old Creek was also blind. In the center of the basin was the source of the pluming smoke. Old Svana reasoned that at least the steep crater walls offered respite from the howling winds. The smoldering terrain proved difficult for us to navigate, but any halt would mean to accept our deaths. Then we saw the furnace. The dome structure was the only thing that looked handmade. It was crafted like the head of the great ram, and in the spaces between its mouths lay tufts of the goat grass. In the ram's mouth was a flame so bright we could find it with our eyes closed. We huddled around it for once, while our war mother laid out the plans for a last stand. It was better to die on our feet than shivering and huddled in the cold. We could only ever stand a chance against the winter's claw if the Ursan struck first. Our defenses would be terrifyingly short. The hideous legion of half-bear army would overwhelm us. And soon enough, we heard their battle growls growing louder, and the clamor of their steps growing louder. We smelled their stench. Hundreds descended upon a cliff like shadows twisting down the basalt slopes. We fashioned spears from our stretchers and sharpened our craving knives on the flint. We would minister the rite of the lamb on the elderly and the wounded, and the rest of us would dance with the rite of the lamb, and it would be over by morning. No one saw who stoked the fire, but it grew so hot that we needed to back away. Then the furnace spoke, its voice like crumbling logs. Volibear is near, it said. Seek shelter now. There is no shelter to seek, Otsvana replied to the fire in the forge. We know not of whose presence we stand before. Enemies at our heels. The Ursine are flanking us. The Ursine, in the forge, grow hotter at these words, will be stopped. If there are problems, are your own. The goat grass caught fire. The flagstone grew red hot around the edges. As towards the center, it steamed and sizzled from the cracks. Some shed their clothes to seek reprieve from the heat. Others fainted. The next wave of blistering heat drove us all to our knees, gasping for air. I never thought I'd see the day, cried Creek, weeping tears of joy. A flash of orange light blinded us, briefly silhouetting a human figure. Then, now there was a hulking beast, its form blurred away by waves of heat, and then there it was, the forgotten legend that Old Creek has always told us about. Old Orn, the Forge Master, as tall as 3 frost pines. The ancient Forge Master cooled rapidly into foreign form, lava dribbling down his braided beard, and in one hand he carried a hammer, in the other he hefted an anvil with equal ease. We gathered behind our own mother, Old Svana, grape Felswag, her true ice axe, and approached Orn. If there are any foes, we will fight by your side, she said. Then, in a gesture unbecoming of a war mother, she bent her knee and laid down her weapon at Orn's feet, melting it, revealing an ordinary iron axe beneath. I had never seen true ice melt. No one had ever seen true ice melt. We felt it wise to join Old Svana in her kneeling. Orn grunted. Stand up. Kneeling is death. He looked at the gathering storm. overhead. I will deal with the earth sign. Do not follow me. He lumbered towards the advancing horde, who charged forward with fierce speed. Borin hoisted the old shaman high onto his shoulder. Old Orn, swinging a hammer, he pound valleys from the mountains, the luckless fool have sung. We waited all night for the great cataclysm to overtake us, but it never came. We only heard the roars of the great ram and the earth signs battling as the gruff bellowing of the ram loud. When the pall lifted in the late morning, we saw that the slopes around us were covered in an unnatural column of rusted basalt, rose at odd angles from the ground. We do not see any signs of war, or even the earth signs, with no time to look either. The hunting horn of the winter's claw announced their approach. We picked up our weapons and dug in our heels. Osvana's hair that has been singed away, her muscular back branded with heat, her once true ice axe was now an iron axe. As burnt as we were, we never felt stronger. Our blood boiled, our stomach growled, we were raw and blistered, bare and exposed. We smeared ash upon our faces and our chest in the form of a hammer and the horns of a great ram. We sang and chanted in the memory of the last night with the words of the Mad Creek. We know who lit the fire. The winter's claw would know too.